Your flight is canceled, your cruise leaves without you, and the airline hands you a voucher instead of a refund. Then your bag disappears, your hotel charges the full stay, and a clinic overseas wants payment before treatment. You bought travel insurance, so you expect help. Then the policy says, not this reason, not that delay, not without these receipts. Travel insurance is not one product. It is a ladder of protection. Most people buy level 2, then discover their problem was level 5 or 6. The latter is built on 3 questions. First, what can go wrong? A missed connection is not the same as a stolen passport, and neither is the same as a spinal injury in a country where your health plan does not work. Second, who decides if it counts? Some policies only pay for named reasons listed in the contract, like illness, weather, or a carrier delay. Others give you more control, but usually cost more and still come with limits. Third, how much money is truly at stake? A delayed suitcase might mean buying clothes for 2 days. A last-minute canceled tour might mean losing thousands. A medical evacuation can reach 6 figures. This is why the cheapest policy often feels fine until the problem becomes inconvenient in the wrong way. Lower levels usually cover common, measurable disruptions. Higher levels are built for messier risks. Judgment calls, large prepaid costs, medical emergencies, and getting you home. The exact rules change by country, insurer, destination, trip price, and when you buy. So these 7 levels are not legal advice. They are a map for reading the policy before the trip tests it. Level 1 is the protection you may already have without buying a policy. Premium credit cards often include baggage delay reimbursement, rental car collision coverage, purchase protection, and limited trip delay benefits. Airlines, hotels, and booking platforms may add their own guarantees, vouchers, or refund rules when a delay or cancellation is their fault. The catch is in the trigger. Many card benefits only work if you paid for the trip with that exact card. Some platform protections only apply if you booked inside their system. Rental car coverage may exclude certain countries, vehicle types, or liability claims. The caps are usually small compared with the full trip. A card might reimburse toiletries after a long baggage delay, but not a missed safari lodge. Trip delay coverage may start only after 6, 12, or even more hours. Pre-existing medical conditions, adventure sports, and expensive non-refundable bookings are often outside the fence. So level 1 can soften annoyances. It is rarely built to protect the whole trip investment. Level 2 is the policy most travelers recognize, the basic trip insurance offered at checkout by an airline, cruise line, tour company, or booking site. It usually bundles 4 familiar protections. Trip cancellation can reimburse prepaid, non-refundable costs if you cancel before departure. Trip interruption can help if you have to cut the trip short after it starts. Trip delay may pay for meals, hotels, or transportation after a qualifying delay. Baggage coverage can reimburse lost bags, delayed bags, or damaged luggage up to a limit. This is why level 2 sells so well. It appears exactly when you are about to spend a lot of money, it is cheaper than the full trip, and it seems to cover the disasters people can easily imagine: sickness, storms, missed connections, and bags that never arrive. It often requires something specific, like serious illness, injury, severe weather, jury duty, a death in the family, military orders, or another listed emergency. So level 2 can be useful when life matches the policy language. If your reason is personal, vague, work-related, fear-based, or simply inconvenient, the answer may be no. Level 3 is where travel insurance stops being about the price of the trip and starts being about the price of getting sick somewhere else. Emergency medical coverage can pay for doctor visits, hospital care, urgent treatment, ambulance services, lab work, and prescriptions while you are traveling. This matters because your regular health insurance may have limited coverage outside your home country, or none at all. Even when it technically applies, you may have to pay up front, collect records, translate documents, and fight for reimbursement later. The difference in stakes is huge. Losing a hotel deposit is painful. A hospital admission abroad can become tens of thousands of dollars before you are stable enough to leave. In some countries, private hospitals may ask for proof of payment or insurance before continuing non-emergency treatment. This is where the details matter. Look at the medical coverage limit, the deductible, and exclusions for things like high-risk activities, alcohol-related injuries, or certain destinations. If you have an existing medical condition, check whether the policy offers a pre-existing condition waiver and what deadlines apply. Also, check whether the insurer can pay the hospital directly or whether you pay first and claim later. Because medical bills are only the beginning. Getting treated is one problem, getting home is the next level. Medical evacuation means transporting you to the nearest adequate medical facility when local care is not enough. That could be a ground ambulance, a helicopter, an air ambulance with medical staff, or a commercial flight with an escort. The insurer is usually deciding where you need to go based on medical necessity, not convenience. This matters most when location becomes the risk. A remote island, a mountain region, a safari route, a cruise ship, a developing area, or an adventure destination can turn a treatable injury into a logistics problem. The expensive part may not be the hospital bed. It may be reaching one. Repatriation benefits deal with getting you back to your home country after a serious medical event when medically appropriate. In the worst case, they can also cover the return of remains, which is uncomfortable to think about, but important for families facing decisions across borders. Read this section carefully. Some policies evacuate you to the nearest suitable hospital, but do not promise to take you to your preferred hospital, your home city, or even your home country. Level 5 is cancel for any reason, often called CFAR, and this is where travel insurance starts covering choice, not just emergencies. Standard trip cancellation coverage usually needs a covered reason: illness, injury, a death in the family, severe weather, jury duty, or another listed event. Cancel for any reason is an optional upgrade that may reimburse part of your prepaid, non-refundable trip cost if you cancel for something outside that list. That could mean your job suddenly feels uncertain. A family situation makes travel uncomfortable. Unrest near your destination makes you nervous, your plans change, or you simply decide you do not want to go. The important word is part. Cancel for any reason usually does not pay back 100%. Many policies reimburse a percentage, often around 50 to 75%. Depending on the plan, it also comes with strict conditions. You often must buy it soon after your first trip deposit. Ensure the full prepaid, non-refundable trip cost, and cancel before a deadline, commonly at least 2 days before departure. This is not a last-minute escape hatch after the trip has started. It gives you flexibility before departure. But once you are traveling, you are back in the world of interruptions, delays, medical issues, and the actual wording of the policy. Level 6 is trip interruption, and this is where the disaster has already started. Trip interruption can reimburse the unused prepaid parts of your trip if a covered event forces you to cut it short, change your route, or return home early. It may also cover extra transportation, like a last-minute flight home after an illness, injury, family emergency, severe weather event, or another listed reason in the policy. This is also where travel assistance becomes more important than the payout number. Many plans include a 24-hour assistance line that can help find medical care, arrange translation help, coordinate emergency transportation, replace lost travel documents, or tell you what paperwork you need before you leave the scene. Real travel problems are rarely clean. A strike can cancel trains. A hurricane can close an airport. Civil unrest can trap you in a city. A misconnection can break a cruise itinerary. A quarantine can strand you after everyone else goes home. Airline meltdowns can create 10,000 people chasing the same hotel rooms and seats. In those moments, the insurer is not just deciding what gets reimbursed later. The assistance network may help you make the next workable decision now. At level 6, the value is not only money back, it is coordination when the trip stops behaving like a plan. Level 7 is where the trip stops fitting inside a normal checklist. This is for expeditions, high-altitude trekking, remote diving, motorcycle touring, long-term travel, digital nomad life, study abroad, business travel, high-value camera gear, and destinations with elevated security risks. These trips may need specialist coverage because the expensive part is not just cancellation. It is evacuation from a remote area, replacing professional equipment, or getting help in a country where standard assistance may be limited. The exclusions decide everything. A policy might cover scuba, but only to a certain depth. It might exclude mountaineering, riding motorcycles, alcohol-related injuries, war zones, or any gear used for paid work. Even a generous-looking plan can become useless if your actual itinerary falls outside the wording. So match the policy to the trip you are really taking, not the brochure version, not the safest version, the real version. The right level is not the most expensive one. It is the one covering the risk you would not want to pay for yourself. That is the ladder: perks, trip costs, medical bills, evacuation, flexibility, crisis support, and specialist risks. Before you buy, ask one question: what loss would financially or medically change my life? Ensure that first. Then read the covered reasons, exclusions, limits, and timing rules. Thanks for watching. Comment with your next trip type and which level you think you need.